Hey, you guys, and welcome to American Culture. What you see behind me is a work of art that I managed to put together in 48 hours. Now, I understand that it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but it is mine. And let me go ahead and explain to you why. You see, if you've been following me, you know that I'm on this spiritual awakening and I finally gotten to the point of independence. Like, I am ready to go, Lord, send me. But the same time, I've been asking for God to do things very quickly. I didn't really pay attention to how he would ask me to do things quickly too. And this was one of them. I got this commission completely out of the blue, and they were like, hey, in 48 hours, kind of need you to send me something to see, something to say yes to so that I could get the rest of the money to go ahead and complete it. Now, an older version of me before this healing process would have probably stayed stumped. Like, what am I supposed to do? Oh my goodness. They didn't really give me anything. They just told me where it was going and said, you do you. Now, the thing is, you guys, that is fantastic. That means that I am no longer playing to the world, but the world is attracted to me. It's a different type of value that I carry, and people are realizing that. I had to realize that I'm not here to do what everybody else wants me to do for them. I'm not here simply to give that outside person the experience they want at the discount of me actually enjoying my life. No, I'm here to create great things that people want to experience. And this is really the first commission that has allowed me to do that, that has come to me and said, you do you. And now I have the ability to do it. But I found myself just completely stumped. I was like, what is that? What is me in creative artistic form without the rules and regulations of trying to do it right for somebody else? And so finally, you guys, I'm not going to lie, after much thought and even some tears, I had been going through it the past few, maybe like a week or so, because I recognized that God is going through yet another cutout in my life. And I just broke this generational curse with my mother, just kind of let her know the whole truth of the situation, didn't get a response from it, understand that I'm not the only person who is in no contact with their parents. But that's when it suddenly hit me. God wanted me to become the mother I had never had. Now, you guys, my mom exists and she suffered and she sacrificed and she paid bills, and congratulations. But mothering, nurturing, caring, being enthusiastic, supportive, all the things that you just giving warm embraces and hugs. Good job. I didn't get that. And so I never poured nurturing into me. I never said, Alicia, here are all of these materials, have at it, and just said, good job. I really love that. And so that's what I decided to do with this painting. It was just supposed to be on in my head, just like a regular, oh, she's going to do a horse and you're going to make it look nice. You know how I do, my artistic thing. But instead of that, I said, no, I'm going to treat me like this is my inner child doing this. I'm going to free young Alicia. I'm going to let her know that she's loved, she's supported, and she does great things. And so I said, you know what? I have flowers. I have flowers and I have fabric and I have canvas and I have plaster and I have gold and I have all new brushes. And the more and more I started to say I have, the more and more I realized that I had it and I can just do anything. Again, I was in a space where the person who wants this from me wants this from me. They don't want their idea manifested. They could do that. They want mine. And so for the first time in my life, I gave my young self, my young, creative, free spirited self, all of the resources necessary to create her vision. And I loved it. There are people out there, you think it's a monstrosity, but trust me, baby, it makes sense and it's beautiful. And that brings me to this morning when I had to go ahead and put this out there. And I woke up, and it's not done, you guys. It's not done. I actually have to go to the place that I am going to put this up to get some more materials to put on it, and then it'll be done. And when I got up, and it was 7 o'clock my time, it was like 4 something their time, and I needed to go ahead and send this over to them. And I started to again, Alicia, it's not good enough, and da 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 da. And I stepped into that mothering stage, and I snapped out of it. So, my goodness, look at the story it tells. Look at the veil. Look at the love. Look at the care. Look at where it's going. And I managed to uplift myself to the point where I said, you know what? Jesus said so. And I got out of my own way. I reoriented me to who I actually was, which is what parents are supposed to do. They're supposed to remind you when you're out there and you're feeling less than, no, you're great. You're a child of God. And instead of never getting that from the outside, I finally gave it to me. I turned into the mother I had never had. You see, the thing is, you guys, I'm patiently waiting on a husband. And God said that He had to find me whole. He had to find me in wholeness, that I wasn't going there to be fixed, because God really has been working on me so that I know that God is doing this in my life and not a guy or a man. And so he needed me whole. And that was the final piece of the puzzle, was me actually becoming a mother before I became a mother. Could I nurture myself? Could I encourage myself? Could I gather all the resources and say, have at it, and then encourage me while I was just doing what the Lord wanted me to do? That I had a whole life in there to support. So yeah, it was through this painting, and I thank God for it. I call it faith. Iman in Arabic is the translation for faith. I was like, I might name my daughter that. In fact, I was thinking, when I was a little girl, this is my favorite color. I think that this is going to be my daughter's favorite color, type of thing. That's what it was going through. I really put me, my faith, love, care, honor into this, full well knowing where it's going and what it's going to mean. And I believe it has started to translate quite well. You can see that there's a horse here and a horse here, but it really does take a lot of attention before you can tell that there's more than just this one horse here. And then a lot of times when you can see this horse, it turns into the body of it. It's just so much it's a lot. It's a lot for the people who know. And that's what brings me to my final thing. I not only transitioned into being complete because I turned into the woman of God. I became the mother that God wanted me to be, but I also knew how to nurture and care for that child. I knew how to grow God's creations into what it was supposed to be. So yeah, this was a big day for me. This is a big painting for me. I'm very excited to have been given the opportunity. And I will say this, you guys, we are in the days of that faith now becoming a thing. This is faith. I saw this. I felt this was it for what it's worth, a long time before I actually got the commission for this painting. I knew that something like this would be the gateway that I have now walked through. And that's what's happening with a lot of us. That brings me to my next part. After I got this done, I'm to this point. God has told me to open myself up and meditate. He's told me to go in. Now that you are empty of the world, I want you to sit with you, who I made you to be, and the Lord. So, yeah, a lot of us, He has given us full reign, to the ability to create, knowing that everybody in our space is going to want what you have. They're not going to want to get what they want from you. They want what you have. And we're going to get a little bit deeper in the ability to do that if we just put some meditation in today. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm like having two thoughts. I got to go outside, walk the dog, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to meditate. I'm going to make another video, you guys. And I'm going to tell you how that meditation went. Have a blessed day, friends.